Hello, Raindrops, new subscribers, and old friends, and welcome to Government. From the frozen tundra of Texas, we arrive finally this night, finally this year, we arrive at Caucus Night in Iowa. Caucus Night is where it all begins. Who will be the presidential nominee for the Democrats, who will be for the Republicans, and here we go. First, before we start, I'd like you to do three things. Like and share this video, subscribe to the channel, and click on the notification bell so you know when our videos come out. As always, this video is dedicated to the glory of God who blessed this land. So, Caucus Night in Iowa. What in the world is Caucus Night? Caucus Night is one of the two types of nominating elections our parties use to pick the nominee for the Republicans and the Democrats so they can face off for president and other races in November. So, Caucus Night in Iowa will begin, according to my watch, in about an hour and 5 minutes Central Time, 7 o'clock Central Time, and results will trickle in throughout the night. And at the end of the night, we will see who won the Iowa caucus. Now, let's start pre-caucus. The latest polls through yesterday showed this. Now, this is the average of Real Clear Politics average, or Real Clear Polling's average. Shows Donald Trump, as of Monday, average 52.5% of support in Iowa polls. So the average of all the polls that have been taken show him with about 53% of the polls in Iowa. Second is 33.7 points behind is former Governor Nikki Haley of South Carolina, who polls at 18.8%, followed by Ron DeSantis, sits at 15.7%. and entrepreneur Vivek Ramsey at 6.8%. So, those are what is expected tonight. But this game, the game of politics is a lot about expectations and what actually happens. Did you meet expectations? Did you exceed expectations? So here's what's going to happen after tonight. If these numbers fall pretty close to what I've just read off to you, no big deal. This is what's expected. That's what we are led to believe through all the polling. You know, how honest are people with pollsters, and how many did they get a big enough sample to get an accurate reading? But if it ends up basically, 53 to, let's say 20 to, 53 for Trump, 20 for Haley, Ron DeSantis, say 17%, Ramaswamy at, let's say 9%, nothing, no biggie. Basically status quo, basically what we expected, basically what we thought was going to happen. But here's the big deal. This is about perception. If Donald Trump does not win with at least 48 to 52% of the vote or higher, it will be seen as there's trouble in the Trump campaign. It will be seen as maybe he's not as invincible as we're led to believe. And the other candidates will believe, okay, now they can take him on and they can compete with him. If Governor Nikki Haley polls at about 19% in the average, if she comes in with 23, 24%, she exceeded expectations. And so she will have some momentum going into New Hampshire, which is 8 days away from today. Ron DeSantis sits at about 16%. If he finishes near 20%, again, he's overachieved. He is he's exceeded what he was supposed to have done based on polling, and so that's good for his campaign as well. So followed by Ramaswamy, if he gets up to 8-9%, okay, that's a pretty good showing. And then that leads these other candidates to continue their quest for the Republican nomination, which is Donald Trump's to lose. Now, Donald Trump is the biggest elephant in the room. Republicans are the elephants. The biggest elephant in the room. And if he ends up with, instead of 53% as he's polling, if he ends up with, 45, 46%, it won't be panic time in the Trump campaign, because he's fighting against at least four other people. And so once you start dividing the vote up among that many people, sometimes it can be, you can underachieve. However, Trump is nationally so far ahead of the rest that it won't be that big of a deal to him. It's bigger for those who are expected to do less, like Haley and DeSantis and Ramaswamy. It's a bigger deal for them to overachieve expectations and then gives them some wind in their sails, some momentum. They get more press coverage. They get probably some more donors. Other people like you and me start looking into them a little bit. Oh, wow, I wonder what the people of Iowa know that we don't. And so they look into, people look into these other candidates instead of just assuming that Trump was going to win. And so this is the fun part. This is the beginning. This is the playoffs for the Super Bowl. And the Super Bowl is in November when we vote for president, the House of Representatives, some senators, and other state and local races as well. Once again, if you are not registered to vote, please make sure to take care of that so you can participate in the fun. Check your calendars, check with your Secretary of State office to see when your state holds its primaries or caucus. That way you can join in the fun and have a say in who becomes the nominee who will eventually become the President of the United States. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you paid attention because there will be a test at the next election. This is Mr. A reminding you that we, the people, are the government. We'll see you next time.